Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 3-0 Take, where we talk all things Major League Baseball. Here's Kyle Corwin and Nate Reyes. It all starts right now.
Oh, welcome back to the 3-0 Take, presented by Chinook Seedery. This is episode 598. I'll be your host, Kyle Corwin. I'm here with my co-host, Nate Reyes. Nate.
USA? Question mark. Casey, how are we? We are JB-less in the corner. This guy has yet to go home from the World Baseball Classic in Houston. Bro just motored on over to Florida for where his heart really lies. Pittsburgh Pirates spring training. Let's be real. That guy was watching highlights of spring training games. From split squad games. We're all getting ready. We're getting gassed up for WBC. Everyone's wearing red, white, and blue. My guy's coming out of his room all black and gold.
Steel City shirts on. Oh, I tell you what, man, of all the places to be, Pirate spring training is certainly one of them. That guy grinds. And he is there. I can only imagine getting content, doing research, scouting. So mad props to our guy JB.
The guy doesn't stop.
Never stops, never sleeps. I haven't slept much, I feel like, really in the last week. And I have the WBC to thank for that. That was a good trip. That was a great trip. I thought I was tired in Atlanta for the All-Star game in Home Run Derby. Dear Lord. The earliest we went to bed was our last night there, and it was still 2 a.m. It was the earliest we went to bed. Yeah. Brought some of the, or I should say, invited some of our fantasy league to join us. So there was a group of us down there at an Airbnb. Had a great time with the fellas. Yeah, man. And every night it was just staying up to see how many random players we could name before we all passed out. So
yeah, nuts. We had our fantasy draft.
Had our fantasy draft in person. That was sick.
That was great. We went to the card shop, loaded up on cards. We just traded cards for like 4 hours, like we were 9 years old again.
It was great. It was great.
That was awesome.
But the tournament itself, not to rush us through the good times, but I feel like there's some things that have transpired.
Goodness, dude.
That we need to talk about. Where do we start? Should we go back to
officially game over, by the way, for Italy, Mexico. 9-1 finish.
Backing our way in. Do we win the pool, though, with that? Or how does that work?
I don't think we do. I don't think we do.
We didn't win the pool.
No.
Oh, yeah, because Italy would have the tiebreaker.
We needed Mexico to, like, put up, like, 7, maybe. I don't know. The math was a different beast for me. It was hard because when they started saying like, oh, it's like the score's got to hold if it only goes nine innings. I'm like,
what are we?
Bro,
why does it matter?
I don't know. Couldn't figure it out.
Since when, real quick on that note, when did we decide as a sport to make the switch to runs per inning as a tiebreaker as opposed to just total runs? Well, has that been a thing? Is this news to me?
I always thought it was run differential. Like that's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Like it's just that simple. Run differential. The whole runs per inning thing is odd. I just don't really get it. But doesn't matter now, I guess. It's the point is moot, as some say.
I think the WBC is moot to Bryce Harper. Guy couldn't care less about playing at the WBC. And quite frankly, for those wondering, yeah, my thoughts have changed on our sweet young prince as a result of this. I'm not happy with him. I'm really not happy with him. I was all gung ho about like, oh man, I can't wait to get the Harper USA jersey. I don't particularly know that I'm doing that at this point, unless he decides to go off this next stage. I don't particularly know, or if he walks back some of his comments, which I don't think he's going to do. But let's start with that. Let's go back to the game one post game. Bryce Harper is asked
after a dub, by the way.
Yeah, Bryce Harper is asked about the Olympics, to which he says, in summary, something to the effect of, "Look, no disrespect to the WBC." Pulled one of our lines, by the way.
He did. He listens.
Avid listener. No disrespect to the WBC, but it's not the Olympics. And then goes on to explain, like, yeah, looking forward to the 2028, so on and so forth. To which I said, why? Why is that necessary? To which somebody replied to me on social and said, he was asked directly about the Olympics, to which my response was, how many times do we see professional athletes table a question? How many times do we see a deflection? How difficult would it have been for Bryce Harper to simply say, hey, you know what? Like, I'm really excited at the potential potential opportunity to play in the Olympics in 2028, but that's 2028. I'm really just focused right now on the 2026 WBC, which is a great tournament. Looking forward to going out and trying to win gold with my guys.
Easy.
How difficult would that have been?
I don't know.
But no, he decides to take this super bizarre stance and be like, well, no offense, no disrespect, but it's not the Olympics. Thanks, Bryce. I don't know what you're trying to accomplish there. And I'm all for guys just speaking how they feel, but like sometimes it's better to just not say anything at all. I don't know.
You're one game in at this point. You're one game in against Brazil. Like you haven't even scratched the surface of how good the WBC can be. It's strange. It doesn't do anything. What does that comment do? How does that bring any positivity to the current situation you're in? Like it's very obvious that everyone's bought in, and not to like I'm not going to trash the Olympics, but like, no thanks. I couldn't care less about the 2028 Olympics. I couldn't care less. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know who's going to participate, and I don't really care because like some of the greatest representations of baseball, those countries aren't even going to be in it. It's not even an option for them.
Not to mention, we're talking about an organization that decided it didn't want baseball in the Olympics anymore. So, like, how good
Why are we
can
defending it? Yeah.
How good can it really be? I don't know. And not to mention the momentum that this event has picked up in the last 3 years alone. But we're going to take that stance. I just thought that was odd.
Not to mention, he's been a freaking bum.
Yeah, guy couldn't hit his way out of a wet paper bag right now. It's embarrassing to see. And not to skip ahead, but all these people talking about in the Italy game, talking about how, well, DeRosa left Harper on the bench too long. It's like, have you been watching the tournament?
Yeah,
there was
terrible.
There should have been no hurry to get Harper an extra AB in that game. Absolutely no rush, no hurry.
Agreed.
Anyway, moving down the line. What's next? I think it was the Skubal tease. Was that what was next? The reports coming out being like, oh, it's possible we get Skubal back for another game.
We got that update.
Driving to the park, I think.
Yeah, we decided as a group, no disrespect to these teams, but we were able to go see Brazil and Italy
That's
on
pool.
Saturday.
That's Pool B winner Italy, my friend.
Which makes this even crazier. We were able to go see them play before the USA Great Britain game Saturday night for $5 a pop.
That was sweet.
And it wasn't like, oh, you're sitting at the very top of Houston. This was like, you can sit in the left field corner, dog. Like you can be, you're able to catch foul balls. You're able to try and talk some outfielders into tossing you the ball in between innings. That's how close we were for $5. Anywho,
Real quick on that. I know people were like they've got their blinders on. They can't see anything or hear anything other than WBC hate. They just can't stand the event. They're using games like Brazil and Italy at 12 noon and the lack of attendance as evidence to support their case that this tournament, this event, this exhibition sucks. It's like, have just a little bit of awareness, like read the room a little bit, understand how the sport works.
Right.
No game. Major League Baseball doesn't even get turnouts at 12 noon.
Yeah.
So like, and you're expecting fans who predominantly wear soccer jerseys to these games to show up in masses. Like that's just not how that works. You can't characterize the entire event by a Brazil-Italy game. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. But anyway, we got the Skubal update on the way to the ballpark. That was at like 11 a.m. local time at that point, saying he might be, and didn't take long for it to 24 hours later be like, no, he's done. He's out.
That I said it in the car when we were driving. I said that's nothing but an image repair move. That is nothing but a PR move. I don't know whose idea it was, if it was his camp and like as a whole deciding to do that, but there was no chance that was happening.
Yeah. Not to mention he gave up a first pitch ding dong to left center and then left after like 32 pitches or something.
To my guy, by the way.
It was like cool.
Nate Eaton.
Like, thanks for showing up. Anyone else could have done that. Thank you so much for being such a valuable member of this team.
Anybody else could have shown up and left us in a deficit.
Literally anybody.
Thanks,
yeah,
Tarik.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, my guy.
What a stud. Anywho's, still got the dub, which is great. Not Great Britain, but great.
Hey,
those are great seats. You want to talk a little Crawford box? I mean, I feel like that's a very unique perspective as far as like places to sit in, stadiums in our game. There's not too many spots like that. It was very cool. We literally got front row of the Crawford boxes, no one in front of us. Getting to see that view is sick.
It was super easy to find us if you cared to look, or if you care to go back and watch the replay of the game. If you're a sicko and want to watch, I
was on the big screen like 4 times.
He was. I think I slid in there like with my arm or something, maybe once or twice, but you were the star of the show.
At one point I was just like, hey, like I didn't even, I was a regular on there.
Yeah. You're so okay, enough. Like let somebody else. One of these numbers. Let somebody else have some shine. No, but it was really easy to find us. If you look at the Crawford boxes, and the way they're currently decorated for lack of a better term, right in the middle of that
marketed
orange yellowish logo, the WBC logo at the top of the Crawford boxes. Yeah, that shade right there, that yellowish orange there, that's on the padding there. We were smack dab. Yeah, we were smack dab in the middle of that design, like pretty much dead center of the boxes. But that was an awesome view. I
will say what's very unique and strange. Any balls hit to left center, you lose sight of.
That's
you have no
point.
idea.
Yeah.
Like there were a couple where you're like, is that going to be caught? Is that going to be off the wall? Is it going to be gone? So that part was a little strange. But overall, like I guess we could throw a little plug in for Minute Maid, Daikin. I thought it was a very solid ballpark. I liked it.
Yeah, we did.
I have nothing bad to say about it there.
Speaking of a plug, good reminder to let you folks know I'll be dropping a short little a short little vlog from our trip here in the next day or two. So keep an eye out for that on our YouTube. But in that vlog, we do a little. It was actually during the Brazil-Italy game because we're like, with zero investment in this game whatsoever. We're like, hey, let's do a little Dyken Park review.
Yeah.
And just sat out there in the grandstands and just chopped it up and shared our thoughts about the park. But yeah, in that review, we talked about how I think it was a better venue for this type of event, more so than Chase. It was more open, a lot of natural light. You know, if you're gonna play in a dome, I guess the next best thing is to at least have a giant glass wall. So got that natural light in there.
A lot of light getting in.
Yeah, the atmosphere.
May need to fix some leaks by the way.
Yeah, that's one downside. What was it? It was a Great Britain game because we're sitting right there. You could see it. My guy Roman Anthony is getting soaked out there and left.
Just pouring. Whole stadium shaking from thunder. It was a good little storm. But yeah, there was some leaks in the roof.
But all in all, great park.
I liked it. I really did.
I think the next thing on the list that we had to address was the Cal Raleigh Randy Arozarena. Moving on to the Mexico game.
There's a lot of.
What is this about, man? Like, this is now, like, I know I put a post out about it, and it's like, this is the second time we've seen this in the last week.
Yeah, I've never seen it before.
Which, like I said, isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice. And it's happened both times in the span of a week in the same event. Very bizarre. Like,
that was Australia against who? I don't remember, but it was for sure one team was Australia.
Was it the Czechia or however you say it? Let me see.
Maybe.
It was the Czechia team or Czechoslovakia. I don't know.
Real quick. Czechia, Slovakia. Is that still a thing? Or is that still a place?
Dude,
Is Slovakia
could not have less of an idea. No, I don't know.
They get absorbed?
Is Czechia different than Czechoslovakia?
What about Czech Republic? Was that one?
Another great question. I think I found myself saying the Czech Republic at one point.
I thought that was a place. Is it all the same place?
Are they three different places?
I don't know. It's like I can't quite figure it out. This is like Kanye changing his name.
Okay. So according to Google, Czechia is the Czech Republic national baseball team. Why not just call it that? What?
Yeah. So Czech Republic is still rolling. Check in, no pun intended there. Check in on, well, I mean, they just said Czechia is the baseball team of Czech Republic.
What do you mean they're still rolling? It's Japan and Korea coming out of that.
Talking about the actual country existing still.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I was thinking ball.
What about Slovakia?
What does Slovakia have to do with any of this?
Well, Czechia, Slovakia. That was a place at one point.
Czechoslovakia was a Central European country established in 1918 following the collapse of the Austro-Hungarian Empire.
Okay.
On January, here we go. On January 1st, 1993, shout out 93, it peacefully dissolved into the independent Czech Republic and Slovakia. So it became two things.
Two different things. Yeah. Slovakia was like, too long of a name. We're going to take ours out of it. Let's go do our own thing. Doesn't sound like a place for ball players, though. They stayed with Czechia.
Sounds like it.
I'm just glad we're educating people. So
educating myself here.
Same.
For you, but
Anywho's, what were we talking? Oh, yeah.
The handshake
the
thing,
handshake
man.
thing.
Like, this is such a bizarre thing. Honestly, look, let me just say this real quick. I feel like I've made my sentiment about things like this clear. Like, I'm not going to be this super, like, grizzled, grumpy old man. Like, I just want these players, these teams to compete. Can we just spare like the dapping up, the handshakes, the high fives, the hugging, the kissing, the making out? Like, can we just look, these guys can be boys. You can be respectful, you can be professional, you can be even friendly. But like, does this have to be a story? If Cal Raleigh wants to just be like, hey man, like, good to see you, bro, but like, let's just play ball. Like, should he be crucified for that? No. Should he maybe have just like, I don't know, like, could he have maybe just dapped him up and then we wouldn't be talking about this? Also, yes. But in defense of Cal Raleigh, Arozarena put him in this position, and I'm sure in some way, shape, or form, that's probably what he communicated to him. Is like, hey man, like, let's just play ball. Let's just play ball.
Speaking of the Olympics, insert Kobe Bryant, Team USA playing against Pau Gasol, Team Spain, in that documentary where they run a pick and roll and Kobe calls it before it happens. And he's like, watch this. And literally just rams into Pau Gasol's current Laker teammate and like basically godfather to his children. Bang, runs him through with a little shoulder to the chest.
He said, I'm going to run. He said, I'm going to run through his chest. And that
is competitiveness. That's what I want.
Well, that's Kobe Bryant's psycho behavior. And I saw people. No, I mean, I'm all about it. I get chills every time I see that clip. But I did see people saying, well, like, oh, so we're comparing Cal Raleigh to Kobe Bryant. It's like, no, stop blowing that portion of this out of proportion. Recognize. Yeah, I know it's a lot. Recognize. Yeah, this portion of the incident out of proportion. Man, just derailing me left and right here.
Blow this portion out of proportion. Sure, I guess I'll allow it. All right.
Blow this part of it out of proportion. Is that better?
You've dropped bars before. That wasn't one of them.
I know. Not my best. Hey, hand up.
There's a lot of ortions going on.
Yeah, I wasn't. It didn't feel right. But anyway, what was I saying? I don't know. I wasn't listening.
Cal not being Kobe, which is duh.
Right. Yeah, it's like we're obviously not saying that Cal Raleigh is Kobe Bryant, but again, can we also not crucify the guy for just wanting to be competitive and like, compete with the guys that are on his side of the line?
Yeah. I mean, even not to get like back and forth on Bryce Harper, but I think we both have our stance on Bryce at the moment. When he was on that Bussin' with the Boys podcast and did an episode with them, they were talking about like sportsmanship and just like, oh, can't you just, they were talking about like guys getting hit and the game kind of policing itself. Like that was the context. And the football guys were like, why can't you just go like, dap each other up after the game, handshake, say everything's cool. And Bryce is like, we don't do that. And I think that aspect of baseball is kind of cool, where it's like there is that separation. There isn't this forced, you know what I mean? But we do that in football too. Like if a head coach doesn't, sit there and hug the other coach like, his long lost grandpa, like we get upset. Or if they just dap up and walk away, or if the guy just heads straight to the locker room, they get pissed. So it's like, I don't know. I err on the side of like, we can be buddies later. Like we can be homies off the field. But for right now, I'm gonna get tapped, especially for it being USA Mexico, especially for arguably the biggest game of the tournament at that point, the most hyped, the toughest, most closest matchup. Like everybody's got eyes on this game. I'm locking in. I don't have any problem with what Cal Raleigh did. No problem. Will it be a problem for the Mariners this year? That's a different story.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I don't really care either way. But
let me play devil's advocate here, not to just be a total Cal Raleigh defender. I did think it was kind of bizarre the way things were handled. Was it the next day? I think it was pregame the next day. You know, media's asking. I saw this clip today. They're asking him pregame, you know, like, hey, what happened? Like, what's the deal? And he, you know, gave his 2 cents, all while wearing a shirt that it said, did you see this? Where it said like front facing the enemy or something? And people in the comments were like, what are we doing? Like, are we going hard? Are we going to literal, like, I mean, you know, current society easy situation here aside, like, is Team USA on the baseball field going to literal war?
Yeah.
So that was kind of bizarre. And then he answered the question, and then when they had follow-ups, he said, no. He said, I'm not. And Ken Rosenthal's standing right there, which kind of made me happy, low key, where he was like, no, I'm not going to take questions. He's like, I've said what I need to say on it. And that's all I'm really going to say. So please. And then somebody else tried to follow up with another question. He's like, no, I'm just not. So which I also thought was, I mean, I respected it, but it was just, I don't know.
I think there's easier ways to go through. It just, maybe you and I have watched enough interviews and enough sticky situations with pro athletes that, like, you know what the right answer is as the fan, and you know when you don't get it. It's not hard to just be like, if I'm Cal, just be like, look, no, like, today we're not teammates. Like, today I'm not wearing a Mariners jersey, and today my main focus is to get a USA dub. And that's my mentality. And I wasn't, you know, I'm not trying to disrespect Randy, but this is what my focus is. Done. Check. That box is checked. We're good. It's a non-story. Randy, float over here. Hey, man, I understand. Like, he's my boy. We're teammates. We're going to spend the whole year together. But heat of the moment, I get why he's locked in, and I don't hold it against him.
Which we didn't even talk about that. Randy's remarks afterwards. He was like, expletive this, expletive that. He can shove it up his rear. I'm like, what? I thought it. I saw first place I saw it was on Facebook, and I said, I didn't even think twice about it. I said, this is one of those satire pages. And then I looked it up, saw the video, because I'm like, you know, people are throwing out like, well, I mean, what did he look like saying it? Because that's, you know, that's important context. Like, is he saying it tongue in cheek? Is he saying it with a grin? Is he laughing? That kind of thing. Bro looked like he was disowning Cal Raleigh as a friend, teammate, whatever else.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that seems weird. This whole situation, the fact that this is a story is unfortunate.
It is for the Mariners. Yeah. Mariners fans like, yo, like, come on. Unnecessary.
Fans of the 29 other teams, like, I just want my players to come back healthy. The Mariners are like, I just want my players to come back as teammates still. Like, that's kind of a hairy situation to be in. But that was bizarre. But I think what really has taken the cake over the last week.
Well, let's get it before you get into it. You want to recap a little Mexico? Like the team Mexico fans, we told you before, I hope it came through your TV. It's just electric factory. They're so exciting. They're so fun. I think something that gave me chills, I don't know if you experienced it the same way. The fact that they sang, like, majority of Mexico fans sang both national anthems. And I genuinely thought that was one of the coolest sports experiences I've ever had.
Yeah, that was
Getting,
cool.
you know what I mean? Like getting to see, and we sat around a bunch of Mexico fans, and they were all just like, they're laughing the whole time. They're teasing us. We're teasing them. I was making fun of the dude next to me. They're making fun of us. Like it was just like wholesome. Mariachi bands all over the place, dancing after a loss. Like
Win or lose.
they're just happy. They're just happy. Like I will easily say probably the greatest fan base in sports. I think I can go ahead and lock that in. Mexico fans are awesome. That game was awesome. Glad we got the dub. Wouldn't have felt good if we lost. Anyways, Skeens, dog.
Top Gun.
Sheesh, dude. Yeah, I'm not even going to pull at that thread, people. Technically, it's a Navy song. Shut up.
It's the
Shut
same
up.
military. Shut your mouth.
So that was awesome. Him and Griffin Jacks paying for the Air Force's baseball team to be up there. So sick.
And then going back to your point about the mariachi band, did you see the clip of them dancing out on the streets with the mariachi band after the game?
Dude.
I'm like, this game.
That would heal, like literally heal so much if people could all be there. It would heal us. It was the coolest.
They're so. I mean, the few interactions I saw from U.S. fans, not great. I will say, like there was a couple guys on the concourse like flipping birds and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna sit here and talk down on the American people. However, I think I got a little taste of it at the Mexico game where I was like, I get why other countries hate us because we can just be idiots.
Yeah.
Like these fans, and I include some of the clips that you're talking about, like dapping up the Mexico fans and stuff. Some of those clips are in the vlog that are coming out. So again, keep an eye out for that. But there's just a much greater I feel like respect. There's just a more pure enjoyment for their team success and even failures. They're like still supportive. Like at the end of that game, they're still doing the Mexico chant, and I heard it on the TV tonight during the Mexico-Italy game. They're just getting taken to the freaking woodshed, and you can still hear it in the background. So they share in the failures and successes of their team.
There's just a lot of pride. I think that's, and it's not like there are instances of U.S. pride that has to diminish other cultures in a way, and it wasn't like that. Even for the Great Britain game, I don't know if you noticed the dad and like the young 20s kid that was right next to us.
Yeah.
When we started tearing up, that young 20s kid was just screaming at the Great Britain left fielder, just berating this kid. Like, I don't even know who it was. I have no idea who played left field for Great Britain. And this guy's just like, it wasn't like cheering high fives around. He's leaning over the railing and just like giving it to this left fielder who had nothing to do with what just occurred either. It wasn't like he booted a ball or anything. We were hitting it anyway. So it's just, I think that aspect of Mexico fans is one of my favorite things I've experienced. They're happy, they're fun, and there's a little edge to them, but they're not over the top, and they don't cross any lines.
I think
For the most part.
Yeah, for the most part. And it goes both ways. Again,
Yeah,
I know
sure.
I mentioned the
Everybody's got
thing
bad
about
eggs.
U.S. fans. Like some of them are idiots, but all in all, we saw a lot of patriotism, but also just saw a lot of mutual respect, which was cool. And I think I said it last tournament, but nothing has changed based on my experience this tournament. If for whatever reason, whether it was this event or future events, if we were to not advance, I'd be. I don't know how other people feel. and I'm not saying I'd become this diehard Mexico fan, but that'd be the team where it's like, okay, like if I did want to see another team succeed, it would be Mexico. And and honestly, 98% of it comes down to the fans and just how great they are.
100%, dude. Some of the biggest cheers we got in that stadium were, which by the way, if you couldn't tell on TV, they were constantly putting people up on big screens. Like every in between pitches, you could rarely get to the point where you could finish reading stats or see a replay before cameramen were just grabbing fans all over the place. But one of the biggest cheers of that stadium in that game was a flag that was half Mexico, half US flag. And I just think that's super cool, man. It's just, I don't know, whatever. I'm done. Solid game though. Solid game. Had to sweat a little bit, but overall not too bad.
My guy, Jaron Duran, having a game.
Did have himself a day.
Yeah. Glad we could pick up the dub against Mexico. The everything that led up and followed the Italy game, I feel like, is what everybody's talking about right now.
Yeah.
And it's the Mark DeRosa comments regarding punching the ticket to the quarterfinals. Now, mind you, as we mentioned right off the top here, they're headed to the quarterfinals. Mm-hmm. But that was not the case when Mark DeRosa went on MLB Network and said that, it's weird. We really want to win this game, even though we've got our ticket punched to the quarterfinals. And that was kind of it. And we just left it at that. And then people started asking questions going, wait a minute. Can we rewind there for a second? Can we talk about that? And the whole thing blows up. And next thing you know, every baseball outlet is posting about the fact that Mark DeRosa was confident that Team USA had punched their ticket to the quarterfinals with the win over Mexico. Now, I will say, as the average fan attending the World Baseball Classic, if you would have asked me 100 times,
yeah, sure,
98 of those, I'm telling you, oh, we're 3-0, I'm going to assume we're moving on. But I'm not the manager of Team USA, so it's not necessarily on me to know at that moment in time whether or not we have our ticket punched. What's crazy, though, is that through some quotes, through a little digging around, through some research done by reporters, I'm guessing, found out that apparently Team USA was celebrating a little hard after the Mexico game, and turns out that it was almost certainly because they thought they had clinched, which then led to what I believe was a rest game lineup the next day against Italy.
He came out and said that. He said the boys are hanging because it started in the bus. And then he said the hotel.
He said the boys are dragging. He said some of the boys are dragging.
Yeah. Started in the bus, then carried into the hotel. So the boys are dragging today.
Yeah, with a grin. And I'm going, my guy, what are we doing? So then you see the lineup rolled out for Italy. You got Paul Goldschmidt at first. You got Gunnar playing third, which, to your credit, you had been saying that should have been done.
Yeah, Bregman
from the jump
hadn't been doing too much. I was kind of wanting to get Gunnar in there.
Yeah, it was. I was a fan of that thought. I was glad to see it played out that way. But yeah, not our best lineup. It was really I think what really sold the fact that D-Road had no clue was the pitching, the decisions with pitching.
Yeah,
in the Italy game.
Yeah,
you're rolling out Yarbrough as the first line of defense out of the pen. You've got Kershaw warming up, I think, with the bases loaded at one point.
Right. Like it felt like full on punt.
And
they talked about Goldie being on first and not being pinch ran for. And there was a ball in the gap that I think it was right before the PCA 3-run home run, so it kind of didn't matter eventually, but should have scored from first. If literally Byron Buxton sitting on the bench would have scored standing up. So yeah, I don't think he knew. And shame on how do none of the other coaching, no other coaching staff member, no, you got to assume there's some other people on the outside that are helping with this. No one says anything. This interview is on MLB Network. His employer, and no one said, "Oh wait, whoa, yeah, you're not in yet."
Yeah,
No
we just
one
like
says
went along with
anything
it
for like 24 hours, dude. No one says anything. I can promise you that he didn't know. I love D-Row. I still love D-Row. I still think he should be an MLB manager.
Yeah, I agree.
I absolutely think that. I don't think this slip up should be defined by that. And I've seen a lot of other, opinions and comments saying like, other countries have big league managers that, we're not taking it fully seriously because we don't have a big league manager in this place. And it's just like, I don't know. You can't make everyone happy. This is obviously a mistake, but I'm not excusing it. That's a bad mistake. It's a big mistake. You need to know the rules. Someone in that room needs to know the rules.
Well, I think what made it worse is when he came out and said, well, I misspoke. It's like, D-Row, you know good and well that you didn't misspeak.
Yeah. You
Like
didn't
that,
know.
You just didn't know. And that part of that falls on you. Part of that falls on your staff. And the other part of that falls on literally anybody associated with the organization.
Anybody.
To let somebody know at the top, like, hey,
Anybody.
we got to win tomorrow if we want to control our own destiny.
Wives, girlfriends, nobody's off the hook.
Literally anybody.
Somebody could have said something. And I'm grateful that we, started to it seemed like they maybe found out at some point, started figuring out. I don't know if that's just the flow of the game that we started to fight a little bit, and the 3-run bomb and then Roman Anthony, and we started getting going. But I did not feel comfortable today waiting for this game to decide our fate. For a team that, like we talked about, like if this USA team doesn't win, like I don't know how you assemble a better team.
That's what I'm saying. I put out that video today just talking about how like this was not the Team USA experience we were promised. Like this was supposed to be different. This was supposed to just be the Avengers being assembled.
Yeah.
Rolling into Houston, dog walking every team in pool play.
And then it's got all these other storylines
And
all these other distractions.
It has Team USA has turned into an episode of Gossip Girl.
Yeah.
Like every other storyline except what's happening on the field, minus the play of a few, Bobby Witt,
unbelievable.
my guy, Paul
Good
Skeens,
night,
doing exactly what was expected, what was advertised, and some others mixed in there as well. But otherwise, this Team USA, all granted they made it in, but this just it wasn't supposed to be this way.
Underwhelming.
And I just feel like with the way that this team is going about this tournament, unless something changes, this team cannot and will not win this WBC.
Yeah.
You can have all the talent in the world, and I think we can credit the 3 wins of the 4 games we played. Talent alone.
Yeah.
And maybe a combination of the opponent in certain cases.
Definitely.
Like playing a bunch of high A guys, okay, so we can combine that with the raw talent that exists on Team USA. However, what happened in pool play with Team USA is not gonna fly against the Dominicans, against Japan,
Venezuela. No shot.
What are we doing
with those teams?
This is not gonna fly, and it's frankly just been embarrassing to see. It's such a bizarre feeling because I almost feel like it's been a letdown. Like the experience being there in person was great. It was great seeing some, some big moments, Schwarber, Judge, things like that. But it just feels like we're not taking it as seriously as the rest of the teams in this tournament.
Yeah.
Like I've seen the line a few times on social now. The rest of the field is playing as though this is game 7. We're treating this like an all-star game.
Yeah, dude, 100%. I mean, they talked about it specifically tonight around Italy, like Francisco Cervelli driving across Italy all over the place, trying to find players, not for this team, for the 18U team, for the 15U team, trying to build this up for the future. That, along with the Lorenzen and Nola being saved for the last 2. Like, we were just so worried about, like, sticking to these guys' schedules and, like, we don't want to mess up their spring training. And, we're burning Skubal against a Great Britain team that we probably could have beaten no problem, right? And, like, luckily we advanced, but, like, we probably could have switched McLean and Webb. No reason we have Webb going against Brazil. Brazil, like, potentially needs to not play baseball anymore based off of this weekend. So we could have absolutely shifted things around. I get the big league club thing. And there's probably someone specifically who's not in our corner right now would call us out on this, that is the main focus. And that's the main commitment. And I get that. I understand that. It's being shoved down our throat. But, like, it is awfully refreshing to see other guys saying, no, I'll do it for the front of my chest. I'll do it for that name, not the name on the back. And we got a couple guys that'll do that. But then you're looking at all these other countries and they're like, no, that is what we're doing. I don't care. I don't care that I'm only scheduled to do this day. I don't care that I need to go finish my bullpen after an. I don't care. I'm doing it for this. Why is it that that's so much more prevalent than what you're hearing about some of these other big league guys specifically playing for Team USA? I don't know. Maybe we're too critical. I thank the Lord that Team Italy looks legit and is balling. By the way, sick coaching staff. Francisco Cervelli, Jorge Posada, and Sal Fasano. Just 3 Italian catchers in the dugout.
No, Posada. So I learned this this weekend. Or actually, it was last night when I was watching an Italy game. Posada has no Italian heritage. He said the only connection he has to Italy is that he likes Italian food.
I thought his wife was Italian or something. I thought, like, his family was Italian.
Maybe I misheard the quote, but I think they said, like, direct bloodline heritage thing. Like, maybe he married into it. I don't think so. Yeah. But they were like, or he basically was like, yeah, I just like pizza and pasta. That's really my only connection to Italy. But
I think it passes, though. Yeah. His nose and his last name, I think.
But if that's the case, then we could all coach Italy, right? That's what passes.
I just figured it was a cool coaching staff.
I agree. 3
catchers. I guess not all were Italian. But either way, man,
I know it sounds
we've backed our way into this, and like I'm glad we're still in it. It's definitely better than getting eliminated without even having the chance to, I guess we did have the chance, but leaving it in other, hands, fate in other hands.
Yeah. I know it sounds like we're being super critical, but we're not I promise you, we were there. We wanted to, like, be hyped up about this. And I think for the most part we were, but it's hard when you feel like you care more than 80% of the guys on the team. And I get it. They get paid to do what they do for a living.
Yeah.
But, like, I just wish that some of these egos could be set aside. And that there's no denying it. There are egos on this team.
100%.
I just wish for a week, 2 weeks tops that we could set those aside and fall in line with the passion, the desire to want to win this thing with the Mexico, with the Japan.
Well, I think that's the argument of the Olympics, is that it's a lot of these aren't professionals. A lot of them are young. And that is like this feels rare. It feels like a once in a lifetime opportunity that you should be grateful for. And a lot of our guys are just like, eh. But you get out of the young guys, right? Like you get out of the guys that aren't, everyday names.
You know what's ironic? Team USA in the 2026 World Baseball Classic is going up against all of these other teams that are the 1980 U.S. hockey team.
Mm-hmm.
Young, unpolished, hungry players that just want to win the whole thing, going up against a Team USA of just these established stars. And I'm not saying that there's not established stars on other teams, but
collectively not to this
level. Like this was supposed to be the Avengers. And ironically enough, we're going up against all of these other 1980 US hockey-esque teams that don't care about the numbers, the data, the probabilities. They just want to go out and win, drink their espressos, and win the whole thing. That's it. That's it. That's what's ironic about this. But yeah, it's like, I know it sounds like we're being critical, but it's coming from a place of like wanting this team to care more and wanting this team to like get their act together for this. Because like if we're all going to invest our time in, like the people that actually care about this event, I'm not talking to the people that couldn't care less about the World Baseball Classic or actively root against it. I'm talking to the people that like this event. If we're all going to invest our time and energy into this, as well as these players, I just wish they would do it in a way that reflects a desire to want to win and be competitive.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, let's go smack Canada on Friday.
Is that who we got? Is that
I
what
think
the?
so.
Is that what the?
I think that's what I was hearing on the broadcast. Let's go remind them that they mean nothing.
I'm not. Yeah, I mean they're still bent over from the hockey finals. Let's go kick them in the teeth.
That's what it was. Is that it's like, I think that was what's his face, JP. John Perosi, was talking about. He's like the irony of the Olympics.
John
what's his last
name?
Morosi, JP Morosi. There it is.
John Perosi.
I like that too. The like tie in with the Olympics, where it was basically like Team USA beating Canada, and that was in Italy. And now because of Italy, we're getting to face Team Canada again on Friday. So that was kind of cool. Good point.
That's fair. Yeah,
Good job, Perosi.
Canada's still picking up their teeth from the Olympics.
Yeah. Suck it.
Let's go kick the others in. No, but that leads me to, I guess, what's my final point here, and is that look, I know I've said all of this. Huh?
Good.
I know I've said all of this, and it probably sounds like I'm super anti Team USA right now, but I hope that you can see through that and like understand that I'm trying to or I'm just hopeful that this team can like change something, or somebody can come out and say something between now and the next game, being like, effectively just be like, hey, we needed an attitude change. So we've talked about things, had a players only meeting or something like that, and now we're gonna go do what we came here to do. And I'd be so back on board. And if some of these guys, like a Bryce Harper, if I saw some guys like that come out and show out, I'm so back. So back. Yeah. But if it just continues to be this drudgery, this indifference, that's the biggest thing for me. It just seems like
I need a flips. I need to see a flip switch here. Like I need them to just completely go the other way. I need them to be like, That's what I said. I need a flipped switch.
Flip switch.
I just need like stone cold killers. That's what I need. Locked in. Don't care. That was pool play. We're done with that. Let's go get dubs. Yeah, Friday, Korea will play the DR. And then U.S. plays Canada.
Korea, number one.
Korea, number one. Shout out Murray. Saturday, Puerto Rico against Italy. And Venezuela against Japan. So those are the 8 teams remaining. And then immediately goes into games Sunday and Monday too. So it's gonna be great. I'm gonna be tapped in. I'm gonna be locked in.
I'm gonna be wearing the jersey. I'm gonna be pulling so hard, but I swear, if I see anybody on this team just acting like it's a chore, I'm just gonna turn it off. Like because I don't want to.
I don't believe you.
No, I'm serious, man. Like
You're
I'm
not
just
gonna turn
tired.
anything off.
I'm gonna if I see it. Well, let me rephrase. If I hear any more sound bites between now and the game, I might not even watch the game because I like I said, I need a mindset shift here because we got to go out and win this thing.
Yeah,
and it's been a little ugly. I can't believe I'd be saying that after going 3-1 in pool play, but it just feels like
we have high standards.
It's been ugly. So let's figure out a way to go win this thing, and I guess it starts with Canada.
Yeah. Last note. Shout out Vinny P. 3 jacks tonight.
Dude, if Vinny P would have hit a 4th homer, he might have suffered from a heart attack with that 4th espresso.
I know. Soon. That guy's gonna be up till 4 a.m.
I was worried for his health.
Yeah.
How I don't even know what is an espresso equivalent to. I'm not a big coffee guy.
I think like 1 espresso is like 4 cups of coffee.
How much caffeine in a shot of espresso? 64 milligrams? Is that a lot?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. All I know is that my wife spends extra dollars to put extra shots of espresso in her drive-through coffee. So it's gotta be something.
The average 8-ounce cup of brewed coffee contains 96 milligrams of caffeine. The average 1-ounce shot of espresso contains 64 milligrams.
Yeah, but I think you're having more than. I think you're having like 3 ounces. I don't think you're having just 1 ounce, right?
Fair, yeah. Well, it is a shot. I don't know. Starbucks has 75 per shot. Yeah, all I'd say, he's not sleeping.
Nope. Good for them. Italy looks good, man. I like that. Shout out Nola. Dice tonight. Good stuff.
Any other thoughts on the trip or anything else we failed to mention? I feel like we covered a lot of it.
How do you feel about your card addiction? Do you feel like it started? Do you feel like you can't wait to go get more cards? Is there
I'm happy to have answers to questions that I've had for some time that have, quite frankly, just kind of scared me away from getting into it too deep because I'm like, I don't know the difference between a hobby mega hanger blaster super ultra deluxe box and just a regular box from Walmart.
Luckily, we had some experts with us.
Shout them out. But I've got some, like I said, I've got some answers, got some clarity. I feel good about the start, or I shouldn't even say the start, the re-entry into the hobby, because I did this a bunch as a kid, but not as seriously as people do it these days. But I'm excited to see what the future of KC's cards holds.
Yeah. I won't out us. There was a lot of overall dollars spent on cards between the group collectively. But the best card was pulled from a retail box, which is arguably the cheapest box you can get. can get him anywhere. And that was the best card. Jake pulled like a numbered 1 out of 50, I think it was, Paul Skeens cards. That's sick. I think it was worth like 60 or 70 bucks or something like that. That came out of a box that didn't cost that much. So that gave me hope because I'm like, I don't want to, I'm not trying to spend the bag. So I guess the addiction hasn't like fully taken over yet. Maybe if I pull something like that in my next purchase.
Yeah, I think I need to let some time pass to let the high sort of fade a little bit so I don't become a degenerate. So
right. For sure.
But all in all, I'm enjoying the cards again.
Yeah. Me too. Great trip, a lot of fun. I'm trying to eat a little healthier now since getting back. It's
fair.
We got to reel it in. I had quinoa tonight.
I saw that. It's good. That's a good
Pretty
pivot.
good though.
It's a good pivot.
Yeah. I'm a better man. Already. But
believe it.
Yeah. Now I got to go poop. So that's what good food does. Quality food runs through you. Shout out Italy. Thank you for the assist. We'll see y'all next week. Don't go chase curveballs.
Love you all, and as always, looking forward to talking more baseball with you guys soon. Until next time, stay filthy.